Hi, everyone. This is Tara McMullen at Military Spouse Magazine. I'm here with Mary Houston. Mary, thank you so much for joining me. We have already talked so much about the issues, but also the solutions that can be implemented with employment, underemployment, and unemployment with military spouses. So before we launch in, Mary, would you mind just introducing yourself?
Sure. My name is Mary Houston, and I am an Air Force wife of 17 years now. Um, and I'm a certified PA, so physician assistant, for those who aren't familiar with the acronym. And we are currently stationed in Northern Virginia. We live in Arlington, Virginia. My husband is on a 365 deployment right now, so not too connected to a base, but lots of military folks in this area.
Wonderful. Well, Mary and I have discussed a lot about her career and what that trajectory's looked like. But Mary, in your experience as a military spouse, what are some of the recurring issues you see, not only for yourself, but other people you come in contact with?
So I think career disruption obviously is the big one. So that lack of stability really sort of hinders career progression and a sense of growth in career. It hinders opportunity at times because sometimes where we've been stationed, there aren't a lot of options for employment, particularly because military bases tend to be in more rural areas, which creates a set of challenges. Um, Frequent moves, spouse being away frequently. These are all things that have created challenges for sustainment of my career.
Excellent. Now, there is movement within the military to start making changes to consider military spouse employment, especially as it seems to be making an impact on retention of active duty.
Mhm.
So, as these changes are being made, what are things, in your opinion, that could be implemented that would make an impact on this issue?
So some of the main challenges I think do have opportunity for very real solutions. I mean, as you alluded to, there's been some positive movement. We were just talking about extension of parental leave. There's been movement towards reimbursement of fees for relicensing, things like that, because that's again also one of the challenges with military spouse employment and frequent moves. So there are some changes afoot, and I think we can continue to see momentum in that direction. So for me, one of the things that has kind of been variable across my husband's career, but that has been impactful is assignment notification timing. So, I remember the days of only getting 3 or 4 months notice for a PCS. We did a PCS with pretty much a 1 month notice from Alaska to North Carolina at one point. So that's a very hard thing to manage, those short notice moves. To manage a career along with that has been very challenging. So timing of assignment notification is a big one, and again, I have seen the Air Force make some good moves in this direction. The more time, the more lead time you have as a working spouse, you have a chance to job hunt. Particularly in the medical field, it might require relicensing, credentialing with a new employer, all of which can take months, 6 months, sometimes more. So the more time we have to create that move and that opportunity is very helpful. Another one would be time at location. Again, we've had different experiences with that. We have had a period where we had 3 moves in 3 years. Pretty hard to, get meaningful employment and get people to hire you when they're seeing a resume like that, and then just to establish in a new job and really build something there. So we've also had the opportunity to be in the same place once for 4 years, actually twice now, with my husband in different jobs, but staying in the same geographic location. So for me, that really created an opportunity the first time around, to get through grad school and then to get some good employment under my belt before we had to move again. So the time spent at location is another opportunity for the Air Force and all of the branches to really be able to have a positive impact on spouse career opportunities. Obviously, with stability, creating opportunity there. Another thing I'd say is, their schedules are very irregular, and I don't necessarily think that there's a fix for that, right? Particularly with, depending on the job that they're in, if they're in an operational assignment or they're in a situation where they're deployed, TDY, things like that. That's not something that the military can change, and I understand that. But the biggest challenge with that, I think, again, for a working spouse is childcare. And so what do you do in those times when they are away, or again, they don't have 9 to 5 jobs, they could have a 12-hour day, they could have a 15-hour day. And, childcare centers are only open for certain hours. And so again, working in healthcare, like I can't work a 12-hour shift somewhere, and put my kid in 12, 15 hours of daycare. So I think that the room there is really more on the base, the local bases, developing a network of childcare providers, making sure that there's good access to the CDC on base, having resources available for, vetted in-home daycares or nannies or babysitters or whatever. And I think there's definitely a lot of work there that can be done, but I think that probably has to happen more at the local level.
Yeah, things like, what do you do when your child is sick for the 4th day in a row and you've burned through all your vacation days or all your sick days, but your spouse is deployed? Like there's not always a backup
Yeah.
readily available, and that's probably where we could see more support offered.
Definitely.
Well, thank you so much, Mary. This has been so helpful. We're looking forward to sharing the rest of your story soon.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you for telling this story. I think, like you said, that's an important way for this to gain attention and to get more traction moving forward, and hopefully to benefit, the younger generations kind of coming up behind me.
Wonderful. Thanks so much, Mary.
Thanks, Tara.